Okay, so I'm in the car with my buddy Glenn McGill, and believe it or not, Dennis Prager. Everyone who I told that Dennis is with us just can't believe it. And we're going.
I think I'll only go to first world luxury tours.
Yeah, they said, "Are you sure Dennis isn't?"
The
Lanesboro Hotel at Hyde Park Corner.
Fourth country.
And we're going to Botswana, and to what's the other country?
Namibia.
And Namibia. In 2004, Christian value voters kept George Bush in power when he was the most hated man on earth. That's how important values were to America. 4 years later, they couldn't even stop Barack Obama from winning.
They couldn't stop Obama.
The reason, because the values, because Americans had rejected those values.
Baloney. Oh, really? Americans today identify more as conservative than ever since the
fiscal
polling
conservative.
started. No,
fiscal conservative.
No, vote just conservative. They're not as fiscal. Look at the Rasmussen poll. Look at the Gallup poll. It's astonishing. 2 to 1 over those who say they're liberal.
Yeah, most of the people
even
values are not just abortion and gay marriage.
So wait, first of all,
values are family values.
They're very huge. Those are huge values.
Keeping families together is the main thing. I don't see where gays come into it. I think it's a boogeyman.
No, it's a boogeyman. Whether marriage is redefined as a boogeyman, whether girls will be raised
that cannot compare to the disintegration of family in our time.
The disintegration of the family is.
That's why.
Fine. It's not either or.
That's why Christian pastors like Rick Warren and Joel Osteen don't even get involved in this issue anymore. They don't touch it.
Yeah, and you know what? They're worthless. They are worthless. They are Deepak Chopras of Christianity. They say nothing. They are meaningless popularizers who say nothing.
I think Rick Warren does a huge amount.
I think he does nothing. He is a Deepak Chopra of Christianity. He's beats Osteen, and I was on with Osteen on Hannity.
I give Osteen a lot of credit. He's taken biblical teachings and he's shared it with millions and millions of people. I wish the Jews were doing what he did.
Oh, I wish that too. That's a separate issue. You know I believe that. I gave up on Jews spreading the mission. Jews spread environmentalism and feminism.
Feminism?
Feminism, yes.
Gay marriage is
gay marriage is huge.
It's the great boogeyman of our time, and it diverted us from the real values discussion. I'll give you an example. On my radio show a few years ago, I had 2 Roman Catholic men who paid a surrogate. They had triplets, and they wanted to have, and they were devout Roman Catholics in every aspect, but their relationship obviously, and they wanted the children to be baptized. A very sympathetic priest was going to do it, and then he was overruled by his archbishop. And I had him on my radio show. I said, "What did these 3 kids do wrong?" I can't even begin to believe. It's a beautiful thing. They want to have their children baptized. It's a beautiful thing. Look, we look at people like Glenn and his people here, Dennis, and you and I are amazed at what incredible people evangelical Christians are. Not just here. We've seen it. You and I have seen it all over the world. Correct? It's the reason why the 2 of us are very close to the evangelical community. So the question then becomes, why has their influence become marginal now in the States? Answer: these 2 issues. People are just tired of hearing abortion and gay marriage.
You know what?
And what Joel Osteen is doing and what Rick Warren is doing is they're showing that Christianity is something more than just talking about gays.
Okay. And
they're being successful at it.
I consider that to be an unfair characterization of the Christian life.
Can I just say that the abortion issue, the moment that we made this legal and said, it made it moral, and it just changed this country. And I fear the day that we make just deciding, your feelings decide your gender, that we just...
You know that, the Talmud says that abortion is murder for a non-Jew. You know that, Rabbi. You know that, Shmuley.
Well, I also know...
Out and out says it's murder. So I don't understand how you're true to the tradition to have such a cavalier attitude to abortion.
And then the idea that...
First of all, I never said I had a cavalier attitude.
You say making
I said it's not the issue. These are not the 2...
They are not.
This is not American morality. These 2 issues are not American morality. American morality is the integrity of the family.
What is that?
The strength of marriage between heterosexuals, which isn't lasting today.
Yes, it isn't lasting because people aren't married.
And making marriages passionate.
I happen to defend it.
And stopping male womanizing. Male womanizing is a far bigger problem than homosexuality, as far as I'm concerned.
Really?
If you go to the American University campus, the culture of the hookup culture is the real issue of our time, not homosexuality.
Yeah, feminism made that. Feminism made it because it told women they are identical to men in their sexual makeup. It's created entirely by feminism. Thanks to equality.
But you see, look at what you're saying, Dennis. You're saying this is the issue of our time. I'm a liberal because I don't take the staunchest attitude towards homosexuality. That is not right at all.
No,
that's not right at all.
You are condemning the people who make it an issue. It's not their only issue. You're making a boogeyman.
What is the figure, listen, 10% of the population is gay at most. At most. And
We
yet,
don't care. I don't care personally about that. If it's
divorce is
3%.
50%, but that's not even what bothers
Yes.
me. Much more than that
Yeah.
is the degradation of women in our society, turning them into sex objects.
okay, fine.
Whoever's at fault, because that means men aren't going to respect women. If
Okay.
men see women as nothing but the walking satisfaction of their
Christian
sexual
men
urges, we're not.
respect women. Okay. Conservative Christians. Hardly.
That's
you're
correct.
lecturing
I
the
agree.
wrong
I agree.
crowd. So what are you talking
So
about?
why isn't their influence spreading? What happened to the Promise Keepers? Answer, because they started talking about gay marriage. The Promise Keepers were amazing. They disappeared. I love that
They were
idea that a man had to keep
They
the
were
promise.
mocked by the left.
Well, everyone's mocked. Sarah Palin is mocked, but look at how popular she is now.
They say, the stereotype was that the men gathered
I love the Promise
to
Keepers.
yell at their women to
Okay.
submit.
Exactly.
No, they were saying
They
things like your
quoted-
wife is a gift from God, and you have
Yes,
to
but they
respect
would
her and
also
honor her.
say that the father is the head of the household, and that you accept that?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I say on my TV show, the father is the sun, the mother is the moon, the mother
Okay,
reflects
fine.
this beautiful
Okay.
light. And the truth is, when women feel focused on by their men, every study shows that they're incredibly happy. Men cheat in marriage even if their wives are in love with them, but women only
This is
cheat
why
if they're
I told you
neglected.
We had a big debate. He has a much darker view of men than I do, and I have a much darker view of women than he does.
Can I tell you that when I was a young man, I got swept into the feminism movement because I felt so sorry for a woman who was abused by a selfish and domineering man. I mean, it broke my heart. But what happened with the feminism movement, they idolized that. That was the opinion. They said women deserve to do that. They didn't honor women who were sacrificial and giving. They honored women. They said you don't need to be that way. And they honored the man that is selfish and abusive and doesn't care. That's what they honored. That's what's so shocking.
But the point is, conservatism is not defined just by that, and I think it's the death of conservatism to define it specifically by those two social issues.
It's not. You're unfair to Christians. That's not the only.
I'm not
issue
speaking about
they
Christians. I
raise.
said conservatism.
Conservatism. Neither. You're being unfair to either group.
I don't get it at all. Why is that the main issue? Living a godly life to the best of your ability. Not all of us are going to. Every aspect of our life is going to be consistent with biblical teachings, and that doesn't mean it's an all or nothing sum game. And that's what we've done. I said to Pat Robertson, and we had this on video. Mendy was filming it. I said to Pat Robertson, "Why can't you get up to the 700 Club this week and say, I don't care if you're gay, straight, bi, come to church and pray to God. Come to church and love God. Come to church." And that's my
I would
message to
say
people
that.
going to synagogue. Okay,
I would
but
say
but
that,
he
and
said
I
he can't
wanna-
say that because homosexuality is the defining issue of our time.
Okay.
It just isn't.
They are to the right of me. What can I say to you?
The defining issue of our time
they are-
is
no, it
America
is-
sinking in a pit of materialism
No, I don't
with
believe
no room
that.
for the soul,
No.
and where God doesn't fit into our lives.
That's why we. That's why
Well,
I
I'll
say
tell
he's a
you-
liberal. That's exactly
and
what
I'll
liberals
tell you
say.
another story.
Materialism is the big problem in America. That's the liberal view.
Materialism, there's no place for
Americans-
God when people live for money.
I just say I love you guys. I love you guys, and I love this conversation. I feel
second
so
that.
privileged and so honored to be part of this. Shmuley, you rock. Dennis, you rock. This is great.
We rock with
You
Africa.
rock. You rock with